Transfer approval in Simpra inventory. When converting transfer requests created by a department into transfers or transferring from store to store, it is possible in inventory to save our documents by checking and approving them by the relevant manager or approval user. In order to use transfer approval in our company under settings from Company Info, the field uses approval for transfer must be active. Afterwards, the approval level is assigned to the relevant approval users by coming to Authorization under Management. For example, we will use only one approval user. Then we can make the approval level 1 by saying Edit to the relevant user at the approval level. Or, if we want to send our transfer document that we have created to the approval of more than one person, we can assign approval level 2 to the other approval user, or 3, 4 if we wish. First of all, our document will fall to the approval of the user with approval level 1. After the document is approved, it will fall to the second level and then to the third level. And after the document is fully approved, the transfer can be saved. Before creating the transfer document, the relevant approval levels must be assigned to the stock cards under the master data in order to activate the approval rule in the transfer. Let's make the approval level assignments. For example, from the Chickpea stock card, we can select the approval level as 1 from the detailed entry field by saying Edit. To our stock cards that we want to assign approval level, after assigning an approval level, let's make transfer entries to the relevant stock cards. For example, we can convert the transfer from the transfer request, or we can create a direct transfer from store to store. Let's use the direct transfer module. Let's come to transfers from stock actions. Let's add a transfer entry. Choose the sender store, for example, the main store. Receiving store, let's say kitchen. Select the relevant transfer date and add a transfer entry. We have assigned an approval level to chickpeas as a stock item. Let's select chickpeas. After selecting it, let's enter, for example, 5 kilograms in the quantity section. Let's press the Add Transfer Detail button. Our document is now in the status of waiting to be saved. Let's press the Send for Approval button that appears at the bottom. Our document has now been sent for approval and is in the status of waiting to be saved. Now let's approve our document by entering from the approval user. Let's come to Approval Processes under Purchasing with the approval user. Let's log in to transfer approval. The approval of our chickpea product that we have just sent has come to the approval screen. After providing the relevant checks, the approval user can approve or reject the document. For example, after the sender store, receiver store, the relevant stock item to be transferred, quantity, unit price. For example, reject the relevant document. As explanation, let's write the wrong product. When we say Save, the document will appear again in the Transfer module open for correction. Let's log into our other user again. And let's come to the Stock Actions Transfer module. In the status of our transfer, it appears as rejected in the approval status, and there is a red marker under the approval level. When we look over it, it shows that the transaction is the approval user and that it rejects it in case of approval and the reason for the rejection. When we enter the document, we can edit the document again. For example, we can delete the chickpea product from here. We can update the quantity. For example, the approval user thinks it is wrong. Let's delete our product. And then add another content to our document. And send our document for approval again. Our document is again in the status of waiting for approval. Now let's log in with the approval user again. With our approval user, let's go to Approval Processes under Purchasing and log in to Transfer Approvals. After our approval user checks the document, send the document to can approve it, and after confirming, let's log into our other user. Then let's come to the Transfer module, and we can see that our document has been approved. After the relevant approval processes are over, we can now save our document. And our transfer process has been realized.